Hello and welcome back, everybody. If you are watching this on YouTube, it's been a bit since we've done some VODs. It's mostly because school has actually slowed down Fiverr a little bit. But today we have a special guest, Yabuski. If you want to introduce yourself, take it away.
Yo, what's up, Yabuski?
Hold up, can you repeat that? You just lagged.
I lagged pretty bad. Okay. There we go. So, what's up? I'm Yabuski. I am a 3.1 Lucio thrower specialist.
Lucio one trick or other characters?
I play other characters, but I really don't want to play BAP every game, so I do play Lucio from time to time.
Okay. What do you think you're doing wrong? What do you think's holding you back?
I know damn well I'm not playing my life.
Okay.
And to be honest, I need some help doing that. Sometimes I just feel helpless during fights.
Okay.
I could be doing so much more, but I just don't know how.
Alright, well, it's very important as Lucio to kind of scan your environment and understand what is going on. Line in chat says, Lucio on this map defense is kind of bad. No, at this rank, any character can work, and I wouldn't really be focusing on, characters and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm getting follow-botted. Are you kidding me, dude?
What?
Alright, we're gonna have to deal with that after stream. Whatever.
Okay,
let's get on.
What are you streaming
on? Twitch right now.
Sheesh.
Dude, no shot. He's actually okay. We're gonna. Hopefully, this doesn't keep going on. But anyways, let's look at. Can you see my screen? I'm streaming. Oh no, I'm not streaming my screen because
streaming.
You kept logging in and out. Okay, screen one, screen. All right, you can see my screen now. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so. Lucio, it's very important to understand what you were trying to get accomplished here on Lucio. So there's kind of two play styles. Please. Okay, step one, that's really bad handwriting, is you can play with your team. Oh man, I haven't written in a long time. Or you, it's kind of cut off by my thing. Team. Or you can play to Reddit. And what I mean by Reddit is kind of flank Lucio.
Okay.
And doing your own thing. Now I'm going to ask you a set of questions. If I get another follow, I will disable the follow notification. Yes, I will do that. So looking at your team composition, what do you think your team wants to accomplish?
So right now, we are looking for pretty fast fights with Lucio, Ryan Zarya, and I think that's the gist of it.
Let me start off with this. What type of comp are you playing?
Rush.
Yeah, Rush or Brawl.
Brawl.
Same thing. Whatever. Step 2. What DPS do you have?
I don't know, man.
What speed does your DPS what speed do your DPS want to play at?
That's a great question that I don't know the answer to.
What does Hanzo want to be in people's faces?
No.
No, he wants to spam at shields, right?
Uh-huh.
He wants to take his time. So the thing is with Kree is Kree can play faster too if he needs to. So your speed is very much dictated by however fast your Reinhardt wants to play. So speed is kind of up in the air.
Okay.
I would say you want to play kind of in the middle, spam a little bit, and then brawl. And those are really the only two questions I have for you right now, other than the fact that you have a Zarya, so you are trying to play a little bit slower. So that's the thing, you're on Lucio, I would probably rather play Brig, but Brig's boring. So play Lucio. That's fine, whatever.
That's sweet.
Now that we have figured out what your team is playing, what is the enemy team playing? This is what's pretty much going to dictate how you are going to play. Because your team doesn't really need the speed boost the way they want to play. But it doesn't mean that speed boost is going to hurt them. So now that this is now that we understand your team doesn't need to play super fast, we can then look at, can I Reddit? Can I take picks? So does the enemy team right now look good for you to kind of be Redditing around and doing whatever you want?
No.
Not really. I mean, personally, it's not awful, but what characters are you really going to dive? I mean, you could dive the Ana, but the thing is they have Junk Doom. There's not really a whole lot of things going on. The big indicators here is if they have a Hanzo, if they have a Widow, Soldier maybe you could dive on. It's a little harder. But when you have like Doomfist, I wouldn't want to jump a Doomfist as Lucio. I mean, if you're good at the game, maybe it's very doable, but it's not like the perfect situation to be playing Reddit as Lucio. So what I think is better for your team right now is for you to be playing with your team and kind of speed your team around to help your Kree deal with this Doomfist to the best of his ability. That's what I think the best bet for you in this game is.
Okay.
Obviously, every game, the way you want to play is going to be different based on the different situations, but now that I've highlighted this, does this kind of make sense how you should be thinking through before the game even starts?
Yes.
So it's always look at your team. What does your team want to accomplish? If your team allows for you to play a little bit more ready, then look at what their team is trying to play and then gauge from there.
Okay.
There is no right answer. You can play both situations. It just depends on how you want to play it, and it's easier for you to figure it out when you're specifically looking for it. Okay?
Okay. Makes sense.
So let's actually start getting into the VOD. I want to see how long this VOD's going to take. 12 minutes. All right, that's actually really small, so maybe this video will be a little bit shorter. If you have any questions, just let me know. And a lot of what I'm going to be looking for is how fast you build your beats, and I guess how much you're dying. I'm not the best Lucio player in the world, but I used to play Lucio tier 3 until I got washed. So I at least understand how to play it.
Okay.
Alright, so you're starting on speed, that's totally fine. You should be left clicking here to look for spam, it's good, just trying to get some ults. Alright. Just chilling. Make sure that we're spamming shield as much as possible. I understand that you're Lucio, but damage is damage, you know what I mean? Pressure is pressure.
I thought damage was healing.
Damage is also healing, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, right off the bat, you're already disconnected from your team, and you're not really getting any value. So, like, speed boost and healing is all based upon LOS. I like that you're on the wall, because you now know that they have a Doom and a Junk, so they can't really take you off of that wall. So I like that you're on the wall. I don't like how you're already starting a flank when flanking into that room as well is just not good. Like, you want to avoid playing inside this health pack room as a defender as much as possible. You want to force them into you. Taking a fight in here is very dangerous.
Okay.
But you want to make sure you don't get.
Happened? Do I tell you what actually
we'll
happened?
see. We'll see what actually happens here. And you're on console, right?
Yeah, I was gonna go boot the Junk down. I saw that he was sonard, but he wasn't there.
So, like, here's the thing. Even then, this Junkrat isn't really gonna do anything. Like, look at this line of sight.
True. Yeah.
He's not really doing anything, especially as Junk, because the Kree can just kind of outrange him, and he's not doing anything. I mean, unless this Junk's gonna, like, do some crazy bank things, but even then, he gets more value by just spamming here. And, yeah, you don't really need to boop him here. Now, like, if he was up here, that is something you can boop. But the thing is you should be playing with your team in order to boop him there.
Okay.
But let's keep going here. It's very minor what you're doing right there. I mean, this is just a lack of playing with your team, and now your team has to play back a bit. Amping there wasn't necessary. You have a BAP. I mean, maybe you could argue alt charge, but you do have a BAP, so you don't have to really worry about it. You are playing very aggressively.
You got bubble.
Just because you were Lucio does not mean that you are invincible. You should still position yourself accordingly. So where is your BAP? Your BAP's in a really shitty spot. For BAP, at least. This is an Ana location. I mean, you whatever. You should probably be spamming and playing from back here so that you're getting as many people in your aura as possible. Like, you're playing like Reddit Brawl, and that just doesn't work. You have to pick kind of one of the other in this situation, because you're playing so far forward that it's putting you in a very difficult situation, and you're gonna die a lot here. Like, if they had a Kree, you're dead. If you're at any higher elo, you're dead, and you're probably gonna die here. You don't, because they don't even look at you. So yeah, right here, healing is fine because your team isn't trying to disengage. Right now, your team's trying to walk backwards, so you have to switch to speed to allow your Rhine to do that. This whole time, your Rhine should have been backing up, but he wasn't because he's bad. But the moment that he does start backing up, you need to speed him. Speeding is going to get him away from damage, thus heal him more than what you could have had you kept healing on. Does that make sense? So, like,
Yes.
it's kind of the idea of damage is healing, but take damage and swap it to, like, prevention. It's the same idea with damage is healing, because it's not necessarily that damage is healing, it's that prevention is healing. And by doing enough damage, you can prevent the damage. In this situation, by speeding him out of the danger, you are preventing the damage, which you are getting a net income of heals a net income of heals by preventing the expense of damage. Does that make sense? For any accounting heads out there, does that make sense? You are preventing the expense, thus you are kind of making revenue. But that you can't really see it. It's not tangible.
W.
Okay. Question in chat. Where's a better spot for BAP? I prefer playing BAP with the team here because you're cutting out the high ground hypotenuse damage right here. You're playing on the horizontal. Plus, it's a lot safer than a flanker just pushing up on you here, and you're cutting the projectile time of your heals down there as well. Playing close with the BAP, I prefer. I guess maybe Vines isn't wrong. I think it's very lackluster. Right bridge here is a little dangerous just because they might have people up here. Also, then the line of scrimmage is right here, and it will be pushed back very quickly, and then you will be caught out of position. Playing with your team around this right here, I think is better.
Okay.
Or playing around here. As a Baptiste. Even as a Lucio, too.
Okay,
that's
so
a good
in
question. Sorry,
in these
what's
situations, you said speed the Rhine out. Okay, but what about everybody else? Do I just, like, ignore them? Because we have a BAP?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? Okay, so you said if I can speed him out. Alright, hold on.
I think I get what you're saying. So, like...
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, what's up?
Okay, so you said when I sped the Rhine out, I would prevent damage from coming in.
Yes.
What about everybody else?
So you're playing Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should move together, in theory, if they're playing the comp correctly. If they aren't moving with your speed boost, that's their problem, not yours. You need to set them up to make the right play. That is pretty much what support is at every level. But the best support can support all of the plays, which is very difficult, but good. Yeah?
Oh, got you.
Okay, are we good to keep going?
Yes.
All right, cool. And also, very good questions, Lion. For next VOD, I think I'm actually going to put a chat box somewhere on screen so that people on YouTube can actually understand the questions that are being asked. But we can't do that right now because we've already started stream. Let's keep going, though. Okay, booping the Rhine into team, it worked out. We're just going to keep going. It's not the most important thing. Okay, so, like, damage good. Your damage and aim good. The movement was bad. Try to be looking to, like, maybe if we have time, I can kind of show you when I Lucio skate. But you want to make sure you're playing fast and not just completely disregarding Doomfist, especially. I'm not going to go too hard into this because I'm pretty sure you just watched that and you're like, dude, what the fuck am I doing? I'm sure, right? But your aim isn't bad. So, like, you're definitely capable of being ribbit, Reddit, Lucio.
Okay.
But you're capable of doing this. But what you're doing right now, like, this is good. Ribbit, Reddit, Lucio shit. That's good. What you're doing right now is damage.
Damage.
And then he just punches you out of it. Make sure you're playing like a fly. Lucio's like a fly. More so than Tracer is. But yeah, let's keep going. We will be doing another VOD today. I'm not sure who we're doing. I was planning on doing Magia. But we might do a raffle in chat. Wait, what happened? Let's see the Lucio rollout. Alright, speeding out of spawn. This is fine. Okay. The Lucio rollout definitely could be faster. But that just takes practice.
I was gonna do it faster, but
so like here's the thing, right? I actually disagree with the way that you came back to point here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're playing just a touch right now, but in this situation, you didn't give up any ticks yet. Now you did because, yeah. What I would rather have seen you do is do the idea of letting your team give them 2 ticks, speed back your Baptiste, well, your Kree's dead, whatever. I would be playing to speed your team back to take a coordinated push rather than you just touching, because you just touching isn't necessarily needed here. If they were already on 2 ticks and your team was like touch, 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 because it's winnable, then you could go for a touch. Right now, you need to think more, let's actually get a good fight here, not let's just get a fight. Look to get a better fight here when you have the opportunity to, because of,
I communicated that with the team, except for the people weren't in voice.
So, here's the thing, right? While you might have communicated that, you didn't show me that. Because you didn't speed back your Hanzo and your Baptiste. You were still going zoom, 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 and you were the first person to touch. And your Ryan followed because you touched point. So he would just assume that he's good to go. You know?
Okay. Alright, I see what I did wrong.
Outside of touching in overtime, is amping yourself out of spawn a good or bad idea? It depends on the situation. There's a lot of different things that could go into it, and I just don't think that's necessarily what is the most important thing to go. Right now, you know what I mean? All right, we need to turn off follow bot. Jeez, why is Twitch like this? They make me want to go to YouTube more and more every day, which is not good for you. Yeah, but oh my god. All right, and I mean, yeah, this is much better. Like this movement, you might not be hitting as many shots, but the fact that you were existing is better. Your aim will come in. Okay, the beat's not good. Look at the kill feed.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are already down 3. I don't think we need to go into this.
Yeah,
right,
nope.
let's. Okay, you killed the Rhine. That's cool. I mean, it stops them from pushing immediately. All right, so the beat wasn't good. We understand that.
Yeah,
I want to emphasize here. I want to emphasize here that is a big mistake. Like that is really bad. Okay. That is game losing for you. So you need to avoid that.
At kill feed. Okay.
Yeah. Always making sure you're staying cognizant of what is going on in the fight. I like the movement here, though. You're playing on walls and shit. That against what they have, this is good. If they had like a Hanzo or a Widow, you'd have to be more careful about it. Or just a hit scan in general. That's really aggressive. I think what's going to help you out a lot is understanding, again, your team needs you. Especially against what they have. You can't really be playing to Reddit right now. You need to be playing with your team to help them here. To speed them in if they want to take and engage. Like, you need to understand that not all the time, Reddit Lucio is not correct all of the time. It's correct some of the time, but right here it is not correct. And then, yeah, because you don't have beat, you're probably going to lose this fight. Yeah. So, like, I don't think that this is mechanically an issue. I think what this is if I just play game, I will get better. To a certain degree, yes. Right now, you need to learn how to think as Lucio in a macro kind of idea, which is difficult, and it takes a lot of time to learn this, but that's why I'm here to help you. Does that make sense? If you weren't playing Reddit that way, you probably would have had a much better time winning this game.
Okay.
Alright.
Gotcha.
Alright, so now looking at what they have, they do have an Ashe. They don't have a Mercy. Now you can look to Reddit on the Ashe if your team isn't doing a good job. But still, you're probably looking to play Brawl. Like, Redditing as Lucio is never, like, the go-to pick, I don't think. I think that always the go-to pick is to play with your team, unless your team is not doing enough. And then try to look for ways to be ready. Always look for ways to be ready, but specifically in that situation when your team isn't doing enough, that is like the main support way of climbing. Like the way that Landon does it is like he'll be like, all right, my team isn't doing enough this game. I need to Reddit on their Widow, and then he won't speed, but he'll make that known. In this, it's a little harder to do that, but does that make sense? Like, here's the thing. This is now much easier to Reddit onto because she doesn't even have a Mercy. So just keep that in mind, and I want to see how you react to this. Alright, speed. Amping. Great. You're amping a rotation. This is good. I would argue that you don't necessarily need to if the team is better. Keep an eye out for that. If your team is already rotating through solid, you don't need to use the amp there. They weren't, so you needed to compensate for it. Alright, cool. Just keep in mind that that is not the best use of your resources. So that when you get better, don't make that a habit. Rather, you can save the amp for here when you get an opening, when that Ryan gets below his armor, so he has no armor. Then you can speed and take out the Ryan when he doesn't have that extra damage resist from the armor. Okay. That kind of idea.
So, I do I do speed rotations.
This rotation you do not need to speed. Your team, though, was not good enough and was not rotating fast enough. So it's very situational. Like right here, I would argue you don't need to use speed because it is a rotation that is so easy against that composition that you really don't need to amp. Okay. Like they're not going to spam you out. They shouldn't. But the thing is, your team was so split and just not cohesive because it's diamonds that, okay, yeah, you can warrant using speed boost there. But when you get better at the game, don't make that a habit because then that will hold you back. All right,
generally, yes or no?
There is no answer for you because some rotations require it, and you need to kind of feel it out. Like if I'm trying to speed boost Volskaya left side, not going through, like if I was dumb and not going through the left room, and they're on like a spam comp top left, I'm going to spam through that speed through that open space to get my team to left, because they're most likely going to die to spam. Right here, you need to literally like. With just speed, not even speed amp, just speed up, you probably need like 3 to 5 steps to get through to this door. It's not a lot. And there is no generally do you speed or not because you need to just feel it out and have an understanding. I know they say it in school, they're like, don't memorize everything, you should understand it. But you can memorize everything and do well on the test. Right here, no. Don't memorize it, understand it, because it's so much easier that way. So much easier, because Overwatch is a very fluid game, and this is more just to answer something that happened in chat. But yeah, let's keep going. Alright, make sure you're keeping up with your team. Your Ryan dies because you weren't keeping up with him. I mean, it's not 100% your fault, but you could have had a role in there by speeding him away. Right here, you're just looking for ult charge. I would be looking to get out with your team because the fight isn't necessarily lost yet. It's looking very grim. It's not lost. I'd be playing for your life with your team and speeding them out so they don't die and give the enemy more ult charge. Because I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, these guys are probably dead because they just get outspeed. Okay. They would have had the team been better you were playing against. Alrighty, next fight. Okay. Still need to help your team, even if you're not amping. But see how they didn't really need the speed? Even though that was a really bad rotation, because they went 1 by 1, they didn't really need the speed. Amp. Your Hanzo is going to be fine. If your Hanzo dies there, that's his fault. But if he's on an off angle, you have to play with your team. You're not playing with your team enough, and your team gets more value out of your speed than one. Like, this is just like, just think about it in numbers. You're helping 5 people, including yourself, as compared to 2 people.
Okay, I got you.
Sitting.exe, I appreciate the follow. We've been getting follow botted, so if you can tell me what your favorite flavor of ice cream is, so I can know you're not a bot. I'd really appreciate that, especially with a name like Satan.exe. Okay, good. You're a real person. What's up? What's good, man? How you doing? Okay, see, you're playing too far away from your team, and now your team is suffering because of it. Like, right now, your Ryan has a pretty good opportunity to push because he has a bubble, but he has no speed to get into their team. Meanwhile, look where their Lucio's playing. Their Lucio is pretty much carrying the game just because he's existing. Exist harder, bro.
Okay, sweet.
You don't have to make it extra complicated for yourself. I need speed right now. They just bubbled. Speed, speed, speed. That will come with more understanding of the game.
Yeah.
In Brawl, your team has bubble. Their team does not. Speed. You win.
Really?
Their team used Immo. Your team did not. Speed. Those are like critical cooldowns that you can just walk. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you have bubble and they do not, you can aggress and they have to back up. Like that's an extra 200 HP and now the Zarya is going to have more damage. You just win. You just win. It's maybe not like free, but in most situations, like it's not like, okay, maybe I should rephrase this because maybe people will take it too literally. It's not a free win button for you to hit speed, but it is the correct moment for you to take the advantage in the fight and put it into your favor. So hitting the speed is going to increase your chances of winning tenfold. Does that make sense? Doesn't mean you necessarily just won the fight, but you need a speed in order to progress the fight in your favor. Yeah?
Yeah, got you.
How long is the VOD queue? We don't have anyone for second yet, but I might just do a raffle after this. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Right there. Rhine shatters Ashe. A squishy. Immediately look for the Ashe. I don't care about this Ana right now. I really don't. In this situation, because she's not really even healing the Ashe. Even if she was, these are free headshots for you. Every time it's got to be the Ashe. Every single time. Okay? I understand that supports are the best characters to kill because they're squishy and they mean a lot to the tanks. And then once you kill the supports, you can go from there. Don't tunnel vision on them all the time. It's very situational. You have to engage your mind to think and not to just do what people tell you to do. Learn to think, Smile. Yes? Comprendo?
Yes.
Or
Comprendes.
Yes, that's. Comprendes, yeah, and then you comprende.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, you still end up killing this Ana because she's clueless, but it's not the right play. Okay, booping the Bob. I'm actually okay with it just because it can allow your team to react a little bit longer. It depends on the situation, though. If you are booping the Bob into a worse position for your team, like if you booped him left and then that cucked your Ana because your Ana was preparing to have the Bob in a different place, that's bad. Booping is really hard, though. You'll kind of learn it as you go. Every time our team has an advantage, you should speed. In theory, yes, but it depends on what that advantage is, okay? If that advantage is their Rhine is half and our Rhine is full, we have bubble, they don't, yes, speed. If your advantage is we have the high ground and we can just spam out point, don't speed. Because if you force the speed then onto points, you are taking away your advantage. This is why I'm trying to... Here's the thing. My entire content for everyone that's watching right now, whether it be on YouTube, Twitch, I am not teaching you how to just win. I'm teaching you how to think. I'm teaching you I'm teaching you on how to improve, on how to think through things. You know? I'm not teaching you like, oh yeah, just speed here and that's everything. Overwatch is very situational. I'm sure you know this. But if you learn the game, you will learn how to improve and then get better. Even ability advantage. There's too many factors, Lion. There's too many factors. Because like, what if they don't have bubble but we have hog? I'm trying to teach you like this situation, and then think about how this can apply. Like, oh, their diva just got demeched, and we have 2 seconds of DM now because we didn't use DM at all. Speed. Their Rhine is half speed. It's very situational, and you have to analyze things. And that's why a lot of people are stuck, because I feel like they only look at the one bandage fits all, or whatever it is. I don't even remember what that thing's called. But I'm going to keep going here just because I don't want to keep it going for too long. Are we all on the same page? Booski, yes?
Yes. I'm writing a lot of stuff down.
Okay, and I'll give you the notes for what I think is the most important after this. And alright, we're speeding. I'm not amping yet because they do have instant spawns, unless you get a pick and then you can really be lucky. The Lucio's really low. Speed. Their Ryan's half. Speed. Okay, chilling. Alright. So, a lot just changed really fast. We are going to take this really slow because there's a lot that we could go about. You can speed in, but always keep in mind your enemy's win conditions. So if they have grab, you don't all clump and hold W.
Okay.
Again, well, that's just someone from chat. Even that, very situational. Even that. Like, you should still clump if they have grab. You just need like, if you're on Brawl. You still need to have an answer. Whether it be beat, whether it be splitting, that could be an answer if you don't have beat, but that's even more complicated, because you, as Brawl, you generally want to stay stacked. If you're playing to split, you need to have a reasoning for that split. Like, maybe your Zarya has high charge from last fight, so you're trying to play on an off angle with the Zarya and create a threat in the backline that is more threatening than the frontline threats with Rein. And thus, then she has to question whether she grabs one or the other. Then you're putting more complex situations on the enemy Zarya, therefore you can pressure them more at this rank, then you win. So it's not as easy as, oh, I'm just going to split. Why are you splitting? Just because they have grab? That's not going to work, because then they don't even need to use grab. They can just run on one person at a time. They can run on your Zarya out of position, you know? It's more complex than that, and you have to think about it. You have to understand why these content creators are telling you, hey, just don't die. It's not, oh, well, if I just don't die, I can just sit and spawn and win, right? No, you still have to exist and do something, but you have to do it while not dying. Like, they say it to make it seem like it's easy, but I'm telling you the reality of it, that it's a little bit more difficult, but it's doable. Okay? Let's keep going here. Let's take it back a bit. A lot of it. Okay. You're with me here? Alright, so let's slow this down.
Yes. Okay.
Right here. Too far. Okay? Make sure you're not going past your Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you were trying to find a path to kill someone in the backline. That's Reddit, though. Try to stay in a safer position, right?
Okay.
So right here, their Lucio is low, and their Ryan is half. Right here, you should immediately be like, wow, we have a resource advantage. We have tons more health than they do, and their Lucio has beat. It's also your job as main support to alt track. I'm not going to be hard on you on that, but notice that their Lucio has beat, and if a Lucio is this low, this is one of those moments where you can be like, all right, I'm going to go from here to, like, I'm going to go back over to here, then turn around 180, kill this guy before he beats. That could be a win condition right here. But let's keep going here. Their Ryan is still half. Right now, I'm looking for speed boost. My Ryan just got antied, though, and their Ryan just got healed. Okay? Now the situation's really difficult. You kind of want to play the long fight. I don't remember if your Zarya has bubble, but if she does, let's actually look. Does your Zarya have bubble? No, she does not. I didn't think she did. So, here's the thing. Zarya can now not easily bubble the Ryan and take off his anti-effect. So now, their team is going to look to push into your team. The moment they do that, you need to speed your team out. So you're still looking to speed, but it's a little bit more calculated now, because you didn't do it earlier. Alright, let's keep rolling it. You end up killing their Ryan. That's great. That's pretty much, alright, we just won the fight on Brawl. Let's keep going. I think the music just turned off. It did. Okay. Right now, it's like, we just won the Brawl fight. But here's the problem. Now they just beat it. So this changes the fight again. You don't necessarily need to go backwards, because now they have no frontline pressure because their Ryan is dead. If they speed into you, they're going to die. I don't care that they have beat, they are going to die. But here's what you need to do. You just need to exist. And you need to be okay and fine with existing, because that's just part of main support's job sometimes. So right now, you just need to exist until this beat gets to a certain point where it's not a threat and that you can easily kill them still. Okay, that makes sense. So let's see what you do.
Okay, sweet.
You're just existing now. But then your Ryan goes ahead, whatever. I would argue that this whole time, right, you probably should have been on speed.
Mm-hmm.
And while you didn't necessarily do anything wrong on this push, I'm trying to tell you the thought process you should have going into a fight that is that complex. And like analyzing when it's time for you to go, go. You know what I mean? Because that's what Lucio is. He is literally just amplifying the win condition very fast with Brawl and taking the fight faster so that they don't have time to react. Literally, like they just don't have time to have their abilities back, and you close the distance faster.
Okay.
Alright, that makes sense though. Your Ryan dies though, so now it's even. Let's see what you do. You're still chilling.
Could I have done anything about that?
You could have had Ryan on speed boost, so he had more mobility to dodge.
Okay.
He didn't have healing is fine if he wasn't antied, but you can't heal an anti, so. And there you just push too far without your team.
Okay.
And you could be like, "Wah, my team wasn't pushing." Well,
no, I know
tell
that
them
was
to push.
stupid.
All right, this is the next fight. I'm assuming you guys win this fight. Wait, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't win this map. All right, so immediately your Ana gets killed. Even if you had beat here, I wouldn't beat the grab. Do you want to know why? Because your Ana's already dead on 2 CP. You need everyone. In order to win on this map, you need everyone. So the moment you lose like Ana and you have no picks and your Ryan is grabbed, don't even beat it. You're not winning that fight. It's not salvageable. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, the moment you lose your healer on 2 CP, second point, you've lost. Not worth beating. Just save it and engage next fight. You almost have 6 ults anyways. It's a great pick from your Hanzo. Again, speed. Speed your team to catch up with the Rhine. You don't need the heals. You have an Ana for heals, who also needs her ult, by the way.
True.
What's going on here? What? Okay. Let's take it back a bit. Okay. Yeah, speed's better here. Alright, you're chilling. You don't need a heal amp. You can just keep heal on. Don't feel the need to amp. That was a good boop to give your team more time. The beat was late. The amp or the boop was good to keep the Rhine traveling longer so you can. Dude, why follow bot me? I'm an Overwatch streamer. Like, why pay for that? Please, it makes no sense. Come on. Okay.
Yeah, I knew this play needed to be a lot faster.
Yeah. Another reason why I urge people to learn the game rather than memorize is because then you can react faster because you know it. You don't have to like think about it.
Okay.
Dude, Haas Kinky? Dude, get him more original. Come on. Your bot names are bad. Okay. Right. So let's go back here. I was thinking about why his names were bad. The moment that you went off speed was the moment that your Ana died. Because what happened was she.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Let's look.
Okay, let's look.
Please, bro. You went off speed. She gets hit by the Doom. Max range, or maybe not even max range. It was partly on Yana too for not going, but here's the thing: keep the speed on.
Okay.
All right, Paz, I'm gonna go game for a bit. Glad to finally catch a stream again. Good luck with the follow bot situation. I'll be fine. I just have to install something later. All right. But let's keep going and good luck with your games. All right, the Ryan pins in. This would have been a great time to have beat because they overextended and like now you can beat. But you're still doing well. Speed. Speed will always be better than heals. Change my mind. Okay, a little bit too aggressive. Help your team with the Zarya that's overextending, and then go from there. Not even saying that this fight's winnable, because it's not. Like... Like, it's not mechanics, it's just general understanding of the game, which I can teach you.
Okay, sweet.
Mechanics could obviously be better, but it's not like the worst thing right now. Like right there, your mechanics could have been better to follow up on that. But at the same time, you like completely disregard the fact that you were on Brawl, and it's like not necessarily the right time. Like the quicker Reddit thing to do is to just skate while looking over here, quick boop the Ashe, play back with your team. Like it's just the better thing to do in that situation. Because your Ana's dying way too much. Which could also just be her fault, because, I mean, it is. Let's watch. Like, she's playing way too far back for a Doom that she knows that's up there. And she misses the sleep as well.
Oh, nice sleep.
Still, there are things that you can do better. Like, that's still, like, for console Lucio, that's really good.
Thank you.
Okay, the boop was... I wouldn't do it unless it's to protect you or someone else, because it gives him more damage because he's higher in the air. You do have beat, you should use it after the pin. Would ask for it a little bit sooner there, but yeah, they still can take it back because your Ana died and you didn't have Nano to kill everyone. So fun.
Yikes.
Alright, now they have a Mei. You're not going to Reddit on anything. Your team's playing a little bit slower because you have a Hanzo Sombra now. Again, speeding your team in, very important. You don't need a... Actions per minute does not mean that they are good actions. Keep that in mind. Hello, Venus. How you doing? Happy Friday. Doom's behind. Looking to boop it. That's fantastic. Disrupting him. Speeding the Rhine. Good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, following up on the Shatter. More good stuff. Booping the Mei so she can't ice block immediately. Good stuff. Okay, the movement is still fine. Yep, you weren't playing on the ground, so you didn't get shattered. It's very good. Healing so you don't die. Okay. I mean, the end was a little bit of a blunder, but... Now you're gonna lose. So, like, here's what I would say. You're one of those people that's really good at small talk, but when the moment anything gets deep, you're like, oh shit. I don't know how to talk to people about my personal life.
Okay, how did you know that, though?
Because I watched the way you played the game. You're really good at, like, basic mechanic stuff. Like, you're very solid at that. But the moment it comes to anything that's, like, not no brain, no aim, Winston main, it got hard for you. And you didn't really know what's going on. So, what do you need to do? Let's keep rolling tape so I get a block screen. All right. So, what do you need to do the most right now?
Stay on speed and stick with the team.
No.
No?
Speed is second. Number one, and speed actually kind of goes into this, is look at your team.
Okay.
And I'm not saying stay... What's up?
Grab another sheet of paper?
Yeah, go ahead. Go right ahead, buddy. Okay, I have a lot of bats I have to get done. But Let's keep writing this out. Team.
Okay, hi.
Analyze. What I mean by this, look at what your team is playing. Look at what the enemy team is playing and react accordingly if you must pick Lucio. If you are one-tricking Lucio, understand how you're going to be playing with that composition. Because you are not going to play... No one game is going to be the same as another game, ever. You need to understand what's going on and then react accordingly. You think the pen is too wide? Hard to read. Okay, well, I will turn it down for the other two. Okay. Number 2. We're actually going to change the color. Speed. Speed and knowing when to speed. It's probably just my handwriting's bad, to be honest. Like, this is just not good. We went over speed a lot today. Speeding in rotations. Knowing when to amp might be a good one, too. Knowing when to heal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, you don't need to keep switching your crossfades. Not the pen's fault. It's just it's my handwriting. Because I'm left-handed. But it's not about getting as many actions per minute if your actions per minute aren't good. Like, high APM, good. APM needs to do something, though. I could crouch 500 times in a game, and that would boost my actions per minute tenfold. But those actions quite literally do nothing. At all. They honestly make the play worse. So look to get more meaning out of your speeds and your crossfades.
Okay.
3, I would generally say, do a marina for half an hour. What I think is more beneficial, maybe do Lucio Surf.
Okay.
Do you know what Lucio Surf is?
I love Lucio Surf. I used to know life that shit.
I would look to do Lucio Surf, not necessarily the speedrun versions. You can do that every now and then. I'm looking more so like if you're in queue, literally just open up a map that's within the current map pool and just like skate around. Skate around while like looking at choke points and like understand what rollouts you actually have to your disposal. Now, I'm not a Lucio player, but I think that is something that you could practice mechanically that would help you out a lot.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No. I think maybe this game wasn't the best example of that, but I think I'm a pretty good rollout guy. I say that as I fuck up a rollout. Okay.
Here's the thing. That's why it's number 3. It's not the most important thing. The more important thing is that you need to just like analyze your environment, kind of think to yourself what's going on. Like, do they have double sniper? Then I can play a little bit more Reddity on the Lucio because I don't really need to speed my team. Again, that also is dependent on what your team needs. Am I on Rhine Reaper? May. They need the speed. I'm never going to Reddit with that comp. Or do I have Rhine, Sig, Ash, Kree? I don't need to be speeding them all the time if I can find an opportunity. But you also need to know when that opportunity is the time. Like, when that opportunity is actually an opportunity. You know?
Okay.
Any other questions?
So what I'm picking up from this is try to understand your team's ranges. So like you said, we had Hans at this map, so we didn't want to play like right in their face. So might need a refresher on that, or like just maybe more examples, because I know Hanzo, of course, you're not gonna be in somebody's nose.
Let's think about Kree here. Right?
Okay.
So Kree can play far. We understand that. He is a hit scan. Yeah. He has a pretty good range. But he's not necessarily against getting in their face either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it's not character range, it's about comp playstyle.
Okay.
Is that Kree being paired with a Reaper, or is he being paired with an Ash Echo or Hanzo? That changes things, right? That makes
Yes.
sense. Thing is, Kree Hanzo, there are times where Kree Hanzo wants to be aggressive. Did you just kill the enemy Reinhardt? Did you just kill the enemy Lucio? Speeding into them, still good. Still very good. It's... You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Does that kind of help you understand it better?
Yes, it does.
Again, Lucio is a character that kind of very macro based. Mechanics need to be good too. Like, I would still do the aim arena just to get better. But it's not like your blaringly obvious mistake right now. The more blaringly obvious mistake here is that you're not aware, but I don't think it's the fact that you're not looking. I just don't think you know what to look at. And to do that, and to get better at that, you need to think and be analytical.
Okay.
We're all on the same page.
I am.
Do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, sir.
Then that is all I have for you. If you have any other questions, please just DM me. If you are watching this and got to the end on YouTube, I appreciate you for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Like, subscribe would be very nice, but it's not required. And yeah, but until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.
All right, you're PayPaling me after this, right?
Nope.